Have you ever looked in the mirror and quietly asked yourself, where did I go? You used to walk into a room with clarity. You had that quiet intensity, eyes lit with purpose. A sense that you were building something that mattered. You were on fire. Your friends felt it. Your work showed it. Even your silence had direction. And then she appeared. At first, it felt like destiny. Her laugh, her energy, the way she looked at you like you were already the man you were becoming. You thought, finally, someone who gets it. Someone to walk this path with me. But slowly and almost invisibly things changed. You started saying no to the gym. You passed on projects that used to excite you. You told your friends, maybe next time. And deep down, you weren't afraid of missing out. You were afraid of losing her. Here's the part you never said out loud. I've been shrinking just to fit into her life. No one told you to do it. There was no ultimatum, no demand. But somewhere along the way, you stopped leading and started following a feeling. Was it love or was it surrender? Dressed up as romance. There was a man, a philosopher who saw this with terrifying clarity. He didn't sugarcoat. He didn't flatter. He said the things most men feel, but never dare to name. His name was Arthur Schopenhauer. Sie, does he? And no, you don't have to agree with him. But if you've ever lost yourself in love, you may want to hear what he had to say. Because maybe, just maybe, the thing you've been calling love was actually the thing pulling you away from who you really are. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't about blaming women. She's not manipulative. She's not your enemy. She's not trying to sabotage your purpose or make you weak. She's just different. And if you don't understand that difference, you'll keep getting blindsided by it again and again. Schopenhauer didn't say women are bad. He said they're efficient, engineered by nature not to chase truth or meaning, but to preserve life. You pursue legacy. She pursues security. You dream of immortality. She dreams of stability. Yes, you build cathedrals in your mind. She builds nests in the real world. And that's not wrong. That's nature doing what nature does, protect the species. But here's where the trap begins. You meet her, and in her softness, you see a soulmate. You feel like she gets you your ambition, your vision, your fire. But the moment life gets hard, when your job stumbles, your confidence shakes, when your energy dims even slightly, she doesn't lean in. She scans, she tests, she steps back. Not out of cruelty, but out of instinct. Is he still strong? Can I still trust him to lead? If I have children with him, will we survive? She may not say these things. She may not even know she's thinking them. But her body knows. Her instincts know. And suddenly the warm eyes turn colder. The connection becomes calculation. What you called love starts to feel like a job interview you didn't know you were failing. And deep down, you feel it. You feel the shift. And you ask yourself, wait, is she falling out of love? or just reassessing my value. That's what Schopenhauer meant. Romantic love to you is emotional fire. To her, it's evolutionary math. You're trying to save the relationship. She's running survival algorithms. And the cruel part, you're still writing poetry. She's already drafting the exit strategy. Not because she's heartless, but because she was never looking for what you were. You were looking for forever. She was looking for safe ground. It feels sacred, doesn't it? The butterflies, the obsession, that intoxicating feeling that she was made just for you and you for her, like the universe finally got something right. But what if I told you that was the most beautiful lie nature ever told? Schopenhauer called it the cruelest trick of the will, that blind, relentless force inside you that doesn't care about your joy, your dreams, or your soul. It only wants one thing to survive, and love. That divine feeling you wrote poems about. It's the mask. It's the costume the will wears to keep the game going, to convince you that you're choosing freely, when really, it's choosing through you. That's why you're drawn to youth, beauty, symmetry, not because you're shallow, but because your biology is doing the math. That's why she's drawn to strength, security, status, not because she's manipulative, but because nature taught her to protect the future. And when the will gets what it wants, a baby, a mortgage, a ring, the mask slips, the magic fades, and you sit in the silence, wondering, did I do something wrong? But maybe nothing broke. Maybe that was the point all along. The fire wasn't lost. It simply burned long enough to do its job. You call it heartbreak. Nature calls it success. This is where so many men suffer in silence. They gave all their heart, their time, their loyalty, thinking love was about forever. But to the ancient code running in the background, love was just a means to an end. And when that end was reached, she changed. The warmth disappeared. The laughter faded. The sex dried up. She stopped looking at you like you were her world, and you're left sitting in a dark room, scrolling through old messages, trying to find where it all began to fall apart. Was I not enough? Did I love her wrong? Why do I feel like a stranger in my own life? But here's the truth. No one warns you about this part. They just say, be a good man. Be patient. Be present. Be generous. Give her your time, your attention, your soul. And so you do. You cancel gym nights. You skip hangouts. You turn down a promotion because you need more time together. At first, it feels noble. You feel like a protector, a provider, a real partner. But quietly and dangerously, something begins to shift. Ends aus tai. You stop leading your own life. You stop chasing what once set you on fire. You silence your hunger so you don't outpace hers. And in trying to become her everything, you become nothing at all. You orbit. You hover. You're always available and somehow less magnetic, The fire she once saw in your eyes, now just a flicker. The mission she once admired, now postponed indefinitely. And here's the cruel irony. The more you surrender your center to keep her, the less she respects you. Because deep down, she doesn't want to be your son. She wants to walk beside a man who already knows where he's going. She fell for the storm. But now you've turned into a puddle. Schopenhauer saw it clearly. Men often abandon themselves in the name of love, chasing a fantasy of forever, forgetting that fantasy without self-respect is just self-erasure. You thought your devotion would make her stay, but it was never your devotion that attracted her. It was your direction. It was the way you lit up when you spoke of your vision, the confidence in your posture, the way your presence said, I know who I am with or without you. Have you noticed the moment you became fully available, she stopped leaning in. The texts got shorter, the affection less frequent, the eyes colder. Not because she stopped loving you, but because you stopped being the man she fell in love with. You surrendered your edge, and in doing so, you became a man she couldn't follow because you stopped leading. Let's make one thing clear. This is not about running from women. It's not bitterness. It's not some cold, angry vow to stop feeling. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to shrink, before she told you to soften, before love told you to surrender your fire for peace. Because the moment you forget your own path, you begin walking someone else's. You become agreeable, predictable, safe. But you weren't born to be safe. You were born to carry weight, to move mountains, not rearrange pebbles. Schopenhauer didn't call men to pleasure. He called them to transcendence, to rise above instinct, to choose meaning over comfort, to say yes to truth, even when it costs everything. A man with no mission is a servant of the will. A man with purpose. He bends the will or walks through fire to escape it. So what does that look like? It means you don't chase love to silence your loneliness. You don't abandon your vision just to keep someone warm beside you at night. You build. You create. You lead. Not for her. Not for approval, but because your soul demands it. And then from that rooted, powerful place you choose who walks beside you. Not from fear, not from desperation, but from fullness. This is the man who truly loves, not because he needs her to complete him, but because he's already whole. And when a woman meets a man like that, she doesn't try to tame him. She joins him. Because his fire doesn't burn her, it lights the way. He can say no without guilt. He can walk away without begging. He can love fully but never lose himself in the process. Because he is not her mirror. He is his own mountain. This is what it means to hold your center. To know who you are when you're alone, to stay grounded when desire pulls, to keep building your cathedral even if no one claps. Because the strongest man is not the one who avoids love. It's the one who can walk through it and not disappear. It's not because you failed. It's because, to her instincts, the mission was complete. The will got what it wanted. And now, you're left wondering, Who am I without her? There comes a moment in every man's life when he stands at a quiet, brutal crossroads. One path leads to love intoxicating, magnetic, seductive. It promises warmth, soft skin, emotional high. It whispers, "This is it. She's the one." But behind that sweetness, there's a cost. The other path, stillness, solitude, the long, lonely work of becoming something more than you are. A mission, a mountain, a legacy. It's harder, it's colder, but it's real, and it's yours. No one tells you this. If you abandon that second path, your center to chase love blindly, you won't just lose her. You'll lose you. You become a man without gravity. You orbit. You bend. You fold. Until there's nothing left to stand on. And in the end, that love you fought so hard to keep, it doesn't stay. Because no woman can respect a man who betrayed his soul to keep her close. Schopenhauer didn't say these things to make you bitter. He said them to wake you up, not from love but from illusion. Because true love doesn't pull you off your path. It walks beside you or not at all. So here's the final truth. Don't be fooled by the perfume of desire. Don't hand over your mission to biology dressed as romance. Before you give in, ask, is this my voice? Or is instinct playing me like a puppet? Is this woman pulling me higher or hollowing me out? Am I choosing this from strength or fear? And most of all, have I built a center strong enough that no body, no beauty, no fantasy can tear it down? Because that is the mark of a true man. Not charm, not money, not how many want you, but how deeply you know who you are, how fiercely you protect him, and how clearly you walk your path, even if no one claps. So if you've made it to the end of this journey, if you felt that ache, that anger, that clarity, comment the word center. Not for me, for you. Let it be your quiet vow, your unshakable line in the sand, your anchor in a world full of noise. And if this hit home, share it with a brother who needs to wake up too. Testitidi, because we are not alone in this. We are rising together. Until next time, hold your center, or the world will take it from you.